name is Sasha. Welcome to your Cauldron reading. Let's see what our messages are for today. You can check the juice box below the video for all the juicy. Don't forget to show some love. So the first impression I'm getting is a rainbow, and it's a little bit unusual because it is mostly the red tones. So this might have something to do, I'm hearing the harmonic convergence also. So this could be a succession through time for you. This could be the time span of your Great Awakening. The harmonic convergence, for those of you who are familiar, was in the 80s. And this is a time period when humanity was given a Great Awakening and an influence of light came to the planet. And this is linked also to Mayan cosmology. It's linked to the planet Venus, leading up to all of the Venus awakenings up to like 2012, which kind of has prepared things for the days that we're in now. So you may be of many of those different awakening periods, and your timeline here on the planet most likely is also about connecting in with your own awakening to awaken others in whatever way you perceive that. There's a lot of different labels that we can use. So this rainbow, this is also, it's about octaves. So for some of you, you might understand seeing light, seeing energy, and maybe even using different musical tones. And this could also be relative to your like root chakra, but maybe some cleansing and even blessings needs to come into your root chakra area. So again, you could always book me and I can see specifically what's going on and assist you through this part of your ascension. I'm also seeing, like with the rainbow, I'm seeing clouds, mainly one cloud, and it's kind of like I can sense the mist, the humidity in the cloud, but it's a very light, fluffy cloud, and it is white, so I have the sensation that this is something that you can clear up if you just work on it and get the awareness of what is going on, but it might be something that you need to focus on for your healing. I'm also seeing, like a ceiling of a home that has a beam or a rafter. So this could be just like an exposed wooden beam. Usually they're very beautiful, but also from the perspective of like feng shui, make sure that as you're sleeping, this rafter is not crossing your bed. And if you do have something like this and it can't be avoided, you can also contact me for that to make suggestions for the cures for your home. Everything in our environment affects us in a certain kind of way. So it's important to keep not only your personal energy clear, also that of your environment. I'm also seeing a wedding band. This is it seems like a masculine, a male, wearing this wedding band. It's kind of like a yellow gold color. So this also has been worn for quite some time. So this could represent your long-standing commitments as well. I keep getting the sensation that doing a little bit of feng shui on your home is going to be immensely beneficial. And I can always show you how to enhance those areas and quadrants of your home. Let's see what other messages we have. I'm seeing the color green. This is a spring green, and I'm seeing the clover. So this has a few different connotations. This is health and healing and expansion. This is your growth coming in. And also I'm seeing a connection to like the Gaelic times. So perhaps you have that in your ancestral DNA. You might be feeling connected to places such as Sweden, Ireland, England, anywhere in those parts. I'm also seeing a raven. And I'm seeing some emanations as well. The raven is a potent messenger, many times bringing you news from other realms and other dimensions. Also, if you contact a raven in your journey work, a raven can help you to see those places within your own life that you need to bring healing to as well. Just a side note. So this raven is observing things. This could be you keeping an eye on things, checking up on things. So whether this has to do with your health or your relatives, there's a connection to family here, but it's also, this is more about your own walk, your own life path. So again, I'm going to mention maybe working on your ancestral DNA. The raven also is showing me something. In its beak, it's holding a white berry. I'm hearing snowberry. I'm not familiar with the snowberry. But this has to do with wintertime and culmination. I'm also hearing the word projects. Maybe you have some things that you're working on. And this could be your soul work as well. But I'm getting the sensation of things coming to a close, coming full circle. And I'm also hearing harvest moon. So maybe this is something that you've been working on through these last few eclipse cycles and moon cycles. I'm also smelling sage. You may live near the desert or in areas where sage grows. This could be something that you're burning in your house, a smudge as well. But the sage that I am smelling is alive and growing. It's not the same essence as when you burn it. My elders always told me not to burn it because one sage stick has one eagle feather. So depending on your different traditions, there are traditions also that burn a particular type of sage. But this can be purification for you. You might be looking into what is traditional and also how to purify yourself on those other levels. I'm also seeing a mound. So a mound in the earth. And I'm getting the sensation of a protrusion. It's not a word I use very often, if ever. So I'm also being directed to see, it's like the belly button, but the meaning is the lost umbilical cord. So this is an absence of it, even though its essence remains. So again, ancestral DNA. If you're unfamiliar with this and what this work is about, definitely get in touch with me. I can look into that for you and assist you with that in whatever way is suggested for you. So this is about also seeing the unseen and sensing even different influxes of energy and subtle vibrations. This is also your connection to the earth and to what sustains you. And for some of you, you may need to reconnect, but reconnect to a true source of nurturing. I'm also getting the sensation that because this is something that you've grown up and out of, there is a sense of ego identity I'm hearing that has covered this wound. So this could be some type of trauma. This could also be looking into your like early developmental years. There's a free link in the description box that can direct you to a site where you can do your self-healing work, and this is very comprehensive and it's very hard work, but it is well worth the work. So make that investment in yourself today. Let's see if there are more messages for today. I'm seeing one moment. I was getting a little bit more information actually on the umbilical and the ancestral DNA. This is, for some or a few of you, this is something that happened maybe as you were being born, or even while you were forming in the womb, which is often when we're forming in the womb as a fetus. This is when we are imprinted with many things that will determine our first course of life. So for those of you who aren't aware of this, the first trimester kind of imprints you for the first 7 years of your life, and so on and so forth. The second trimester, the next 7, the third trimester, the third 7. So you can also, as you're working through this ancestral DNA and bringing these different time frames to healing, this is also where you can look for information during your first 7. And there's a particular thing that happens during birth as well. And even if it wasn't you who experienced let's just call it a trauma or some kind of heightened energy, that can still get imprinted onto you, and it can have a adverse effect on your whole life. So it's very important to work with that energy and to clear it. And this is the reason that you're not able to ground, that you're not able to get rooted, that you feel wandering or flighty. And this is something that needs to be addressed immediately so that you can get your connection back. Okay, I think I've said enough about that, and I'm going to see if there are any more messages. I'm seeing the color blue, and I'm also seeing the figure of a human body. This seems to be a masculine figure, but I'm seeing the auric field, and I'm also seeing purple around the outside of the blue aura. Some of you might be interested in understanding more about this and how energy works, and also you might be seeing auras or have that ability that you are not aware of. Definitely contact me for this. I also do have a foundation course for empaths. It's followed by keys to your energetic integrity, and this will walk you through step by step, giving you tools to build on in developing how to work with your energy field. So that might be very important work for you. You can also look into colors and see what their general meanings are, but you are most likely, you could be an indigo spirit, but also this is really getting into that essence of being a healer, and many of us are wounded healers until we become whole. And when you begin healing yourself first, this is when you'll get reconnected with your own power. And it's very important to be able to learn how to ground and to clear your own field in order to work with anybody else. You need to learn those tools first. I'm also seeing the Triskelion. I'm seeing also the yin yang. Okay, so these are a couple different energies. The yin yang is more about balancing out your masculine and feminine polarity. The Triskelion is understanding oneness, getting out of duality, learning how to transcend duality, and not being kind of pulled into extremes, but finding the third path. This can also be standing your ground. So this is all about your personal power and how to stand correctly in your power in a very balanced way. So I feel called to stop your cauldron reading here. I do have two cards for us today. I have the Badger Spirit, and it's interesting, when I pulled this card, I heard the word tenacious. This is the energy of the Badger, very tenacious, persistent. So if you're seeking healing, and you might need very strong healing right now, call on Badger Spirit to show you where you need to do this work. You can also book me as well to help you in this. But you are near a stage of a breakthrough. You have to, again, get out of that way of seeing that's dualistic. And also, this is getting connected to the earth. This is, again, learning how to ground yourself. So this card represents not only the Badger, but the earth, and getting that sustenance and that nurturing quality from the earth. So using different herbs and flowers and remedies could maybe assist you as well. For some of you, I would suggest booking me for a shamanic journey session. This is going to help you learn how to reconnect as well. And personally, for me, the badger is a great nurturer. So you could further this by doing your journey work and connecting with the badger. We also have the Lady of the Sacred Earth. So again, your earth connection, like I was sensing the root chakra. So in order to understand this card, you need to sort of understand the myth behind it. This is representative of the goddess Rhiannon, and this is all about your own magical power and how to connect to it, and also being connected to heaven and earth. So this is also knowing how to have a stable approach and open up through your heart. This is getting in touch with your own vision, your own creativity, and becoming that clear channel of your true identity, your true self. For some of you, I'm seeing a connection to your dream time as well. So you can always ask for assistance in your dreams. And if you want to journey farther with this card, it's suggested that you actually meet with the goddess Rhiannon, and in order to know her story, you could do your own research. But she did go through a lot of tribulation. So this card has to do with patience and the actual renewal of the earth. The earth will self-heal, and it does take time. So timing might be a factor for you, because with the Badger card, I'm sensing you need to do something immediately, like an intervention. And also with this card, the Lady of the Sacred Earth, this is like being strong enough to, I'm hearing weather the storm, but this is perseverance. So to journey with this Lady of the Sacred Earth, you would meet Rhiannon at the gate of the palace, and you would find her with a horse collar, and this is something that was kind of like her sacred task, or her sacred punishment, if you will. So in order to connect with her, she would let you into the palace, but you need to tell her what you already know of her story, is what is suggested by this card. And then she can take you into the palace and tell you exactly what types of things you can do to serve the earth. So this is you giving back to the earth and making an offering. And as you do this journey work, this is also like a sacred task that you would start doing in your earth walk as well.